on blast.
So right now, as we're taping this, the Bucks are in first, Raptors are in second, then you have the Pacers, Sixers, and Celtics. I'm going to ask you now, Webby, and we keep doing this update each and every week. How do you rank the teams in the Eastern Conference right now? Not in terms of record, not in terms of whatever, not in terms of record, but just how you see it playing out playoff time.
Okay, so I have pretty much chalk other than Indiana. I have Indiana still ahead of Boston, and I have Philly ahead of Indiana for third. I still have Milwaukee ahead of Toronto because 14 games losing all year with the team that Milwaukee has is an incredible job by Coach Bud.
Yeah.
They've been like the model of consistency. Now, the only thing is, what I hate, and we've seen this in the Eastern Conference so many times before, these teams that have amazing winning records and do these amazing regular season feats, then fold and can't get it done in the postseason. We saw this happen to Atlanta, and we saw it happen to the Raptors last year. They go on historic run, something that the team has never done. Then they get to the playoffs, and they can't figure it out. And I think that Milwaukee has that look all over them.
Webby, I
really do.
I appreciate you for teeing me up because that's exactly what I was going to say. Because I rank the Raptors as the best team in the Eastern Conference right now.
Nah, you can't right
Here's
now.
the
You
thing.
can't. Because the Bucks are playing at a different level than the Raptors are playing very, very well. But what Coach Bud's system has done for the Bucks right now, they're the best team. I think that they're the best team in the league right now.
Here's my thing, right? We're talking about what's going to happen come playoff time, and in the playoffs.
But it's a different. That's a different story,
oh, okay,
right?
That's what I'm talking about.
Every time I watch him, I'm so impressed. I think Giannis is amazing. Malcolm Brogdon has been so good this year, but they are so ripe for the taking in the playoffs.
It's just. They haven't been there before, right? Like Giannis still has yet to win a playoff series. You know Giannis is going to show up because Giannis is just like a different kind of beast right now. So you don't expect, and just the way that he plays, the game that he plays, it's a lot of paint dunks, right? It's a lot of everything going towards the basket. So you see Giannis continuing to do what he does. But the supporting cast dudes, I don't know what to expect from them. And I don't know, as you mentioned, it was Coach Bud's Atlanta Hawks. So we've seen this format work before, and then playoff time, it's a different story. Whereas the Raptors, I feel, as much as people talk about the lack of chemistry that the Raptors have, at the end of the day, you have a bunch of players that have been through playoff battles. Even if you're going to say Kyle Lowry, he's still been through playoff battles. But now leading the charge, you have Kawhi Leonard. You have Danny Green. Those guys are champions. You have Marc Gasol. He's been to the Western Conference Finals before. You have dudes who have been in the playoffs before, and I just would rather bet on that in the playoffs as opposed to the Bucks, who, for your Brogdons, Bledsoes, Middletons, those guys haven't won a round. They haven't been there before. So that's where I'm talking playoff time. I'm putting the Raptors ahead of them, and after that, the Celtics are just,
No, I have the Celtics in fifth. They're a team that's in a downward spiral right now. Yeah. They need, I don't know what they need. They need Tommy Heinsohn to take them all out for beers, something, man, because holy, have you seen the numbers that the Celtics have with Kyrie in the lineup versus without?
I have seen those numbers, and it's basically the numbers show that Kyrie Irving, when he's just not playing at all, the Celtics are better. But when he plays but then subs out, they have trouble adjusting in game to not playing with Kyrie.
Right.
Like, it just seems super weird, but obviously because of the style of play that Kyrie Irving exhibits in terms of being a dominant ball handler, every single thing running through him, it's tough to then adjust in game when he subs out. And that's going to be a problem. That might be something you want to work out. And here's the biggest reason too, Webby, going back a little as to why I have the Raptors rated so high in the Eastern Conference come playoff time is because one of the things I pay attention to the most is what your team's record is in 3-point games or less. because the playoffs are going to be tight. The playoffs are all close games. So there's certain trends that you can pick up on during the regular season. And you use the Raptors as an example last year, and the Raptors struggled in that situation last year. And it was one of the reasons why we talked on this podcast. The Raptors heading into last season, or heading into last playoffs, were only 5-7 in games decided by 3 points or less. You flip that around to this season, and they're 10-4. That's pretty good. The Bucks 5-5. The Pacers 4-4. Hey, your Sixers 9-5. The Boston Celtics 3-5. Right?
Ooh.
So that stat just tells me a lot just about how you play in crunch time situations.
Yeah.
And the Raptors have grown-ups. The Bucks, hey, they got Giannis, but again, when it's heightened, when the situation gets bigged up a little more, I'm just trusting what the Raps got more. The Bucks have the Pacers. They're a great story, but we don't believe you. You need more people.
Everybody watches basketball is just waiting for them to come back down to earth.
Your thoughts on the possible? You're right. Right now, the Sixers are, if they hold on in this game against the Thunder, they would pull into a half game behind the Pacers, right, in the Eastern Conference for third.
Yep.
Do you worry as a Sixers fan about the potential 4-5 matchup with the Celtics in the first round?
Yeah, the Celtics have owned us.
I was just
absolutely.
I was just trying to see how your Philly take would come in here. That's all. Just checking.
I as much fun as we're having watching the Nets, and as much as of a great story as that is, and they're a plucky team, I would much rather face the Nets than the Celtics in the first round.
So you guys got it.
And I think the NBA would rather see that too. To be quite honest,
for sure, definitely.
I don't think the NBA wants to see Philly and Boston in the first round.
No, save that smoke for a little later in the Eastern Conference playoffs, right?
On blast.